Hello, this is really exciting. We've got two new demonstrators for Crow's Mojos today. It's Gail and Claire from Flutterby Gail and Arfa. They're going to tell you all about what they do and how to have a look at their work and get involved in some competitions that they've put on, especially for us today in Crow's Mojo. And so Claire has very kindly offered to demonstrate for us today her skills with resin, and I think there's a lot we can learn. In fact, she's got the most amazing technique she shared with me the other day that I know you're going to love, because we've all been in a position Claire was in the past with our supplies, and this is a great way to make use of those things that get broken. So I just want to introduce you to Claire and Gail.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Claire and Gail started jewellery making how long ago?
Oh, I'm just trying to think. Time flies so quickly. Maybe about 5-6 years ago. I've lost track.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Claire, how long ago and how did you get into making jewellery?
It's a fair few years now, and I got into it by your subscription, your monthly Mojo subscription, where you taught everybody a tuition every month, and that was it. Once I started, I haven't looked back.
And I know I remember you starting on the monthly Mojo, which was great, and your first go at jewellery making was the butterfly bookmark, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Which was incredible. You'd never picked up why, and you made this amazing piece. I remember I couldn't believe it. It blew me away. But it's not just jewellery you guys do, is it? You do lots of crafts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about
that. We've started doing resin work. We really love doing the sea scenes, or I do anyway. I love doing the sea scenes. And what we've actually done quite a bit of is using ashes as the sand. So you've got the resin, the different colour used for the water and the waves, and then we've got the sand made out of the ashes, and then we put little shells in there. Yeah,
that's a fabulous idea.
Yeah, we had one lady who actually sent us, she didn't have any ashes, but her cat used to go to the beach all the time, which was by them. So she actually sent us just a little bit of the sand from their beach where the cat was. So that was her memory of seeing the cat on the beach all the time.
Oh, that's lovely. It must be really special to be able to create commemorative pieces for people that are so personal, and it's quite an honour. You must feel really sort of lucky and humbled to make those pieces for people.
Yeah, it's really, really special, and we always make sure that we look after them properly.
And you also do like decor home styling pieces as well, don't you? Just, pretty things to hang and sell. Like Claire, I know I've seen you making garden signage and all sorts.
Yeah, I've done that. I've used my lovely Cricut machine to do some bits and pieces, but I love just making stuff. I like working with wood, and trying different things with it, and the more techniques I can use up in one go, the better it is for me. It just keeps my brain going and excites me.
Yeah, it is. It's good to stay creative. And just as a side mention, you guys both did the Creative Confidence course on this last round. You graduated on Monday, which was the date. Monday was the 11th. So you graduated on the 11th of April.
11th.
Yeah. And so are you both feeling super creatively confident now?
Yes.
It's amazing how much confidence it's actually given us, to be fair. Some of the things I would never have dreamed of doing. Since then, I've actually used different colours that I wouldn't have dreamed of using before together. So it's really opened my eyes a lot.
Yeah, and I can see that, Gail, you're sporting one of the necklaces inspired by one of the design challenges in the course.
That's right. It was the texture one.
So
incorporated a few different of the modules really, but one of the main themes was the texture.
Yeah,
So,
it
yeah.
looks absolutely beautiful. We'll have to get a close up of that.
Yeah. And to be honest, Gemma, as well, I've got a habit of starting things and never finishing them because I haven't, I don't know what to do with the end little bit. You know, I don't always want to use purchased findings. And doing your course recently, I think it was the part 1 of the wirework course.
Oh yeah.
Learning some of the endings, you know, how to do the endings. I've actually managed to finish this off really nice. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, the end caps and the hooks and things. So brilliant.
Oh, that's brilliant. I know you guys have had a nice time, and I've loved you being on the course, and still love you being on the World Confidence 2 course. That's great. And when you sometimes nip in on the other ones as well, it's always brilliant. So
can't get rid of us.
No. Oh, and what's really lovely is that that you've agreed to do this workshop for us today, or this demonstration for us today. I'm really, really grateful. I know everybody that's watching is going to be really grateful. And hopefully this is the start of you guys doing some workshops of your own, because there are definitely things you can teach that I want to learn. I want to learn how to do those sand scenes. So I'm going to be watching out for workshops from you guys. So hopefully this is the first step into doing that. So and if everybody agrees, put lots of comments and thumbs up and hearts, because I'm pretty sure once you've gone over and seen Claire and Gail's work on Flutterby Gail and Arfa, then you will no doubt want to learn how to do some of those things too. So make sure you tell them so in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Right, so Claire, tell us what you're going to show us today.
Okay, I've got 3 different types of resin. A UV resin, a deep fill resin, and a coated resin. And all 3 are so useful in their own different ways, as long as you know how to use them correctly.
Fabulous. So you're gonna just give us an overview and a demonstration of each, or just tell us about each one?
Demonstration of each 3. Each one. Each one. Yeah, it doesn't take long to do them. The majority of the time is letting them cure, because if you don't let them cure, they go wrong. If you don't mix it right, it goes wrong.
This is my downfall with resin. I'm too impatient. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the UV resin, because I have pretty much no experience with that apart from having my nails done and having the UV on them, but I've got no experience with it. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I know one of the things you're going to show us I'm really excited about, because I think it's going to be helpful for lots of people. So shall we go to your workstation and get started?
Okay.
So this is your lovely workstation that I know you've spent loads of time setting up for us today, and buying new holders for your camera. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm really excited to be doing this. So, right, first things first, gloves. You must put on gloves. Otherwise it can get quite messy and sticky. Here we go. Got my gloves on. Okay, so the first resin I'm going to use is the fillet, because it takes the longest to cure.
Is fillet a trade name? Is it a trade name or a type of resin?
Sorry, fillet is a trade name, but it's called it's specialised for deep fill items, like large bulky items. Today I'm going to do this heart, which is going to need 60 ml of resin into it, and that will take a long time to cure. I think it's about 72 hours. Yeah, so once it's done, I leave it, set it, and then back to wait and wait and wait.
So what we can probably do is, because you would have sussed out this is a recording rather than a live. So what we can actually do is take a picture of it and put it in the comments on the birthday day. So yeah.
That's brilliant. That is the benefits of doing a pre-record.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see that, and actually I may be able to put those into this shot, so that would be nice as well.
Lovely. Right, so with this deep fill resin, this particular make, you have to do 2-to-1 ratio. So you need 2 parts of the resin itself, and then 1 part of the hardener. So we're just going to measure out this one, because it's 60 mils that I need. Measure it up. I need 40 mils of this one. Now I've warmed this slightly because it helps with pouring it out. So nice warm water, soak it for a while, because otherwise it tends to be quite thick, and then it's harder to measure.
So you put the tub into a bowl of warm water just to heat the contents. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hot water, not boiling. Okay, and then we take the hardener. Oh, we better empty that just in case I mix it better. Pour that out into my mixing glass. Get as much out as you can. Otherwise, it does interfere with your measurements. So, there we go. Pour 20 mils. Oh, I need to hold it up to the light because I can't see. Okay, so now I've got 20 mils of the hardener.
And how precise do you need to be, Claire, with this particular type of resin?
With this one, it isn't too bad, as long as you're not over, like, by, you need to keep it under 5 mils out.
Okay.
Otherwise it does not work very well. You get it, so it does go hard, but it'll be flexible. And with some items you just don't want that. Right, so I'm going to pour it in.
I've just seen a little kitty cat, fur baby, wander through that lovely shot of you mixing here. So how do you have to worry about that when you're doing your resin pieces? Do you have to worry about cat hair and things like that?
You do. I'll let Gail explain what we do for that one.
Well, just try and keep the area as clean as possible. So you're always kind of getting rid of, cleaning the sides, so before you work on it, and just keep them well away from the actual mix.
We got party light, like to cover your sandwiches in the summer, netting. We put that over as well.
That's a good idea. That's a good tip.
Right, I'm just mixing this up. It says for about 3 minutes. Now this one, you aren't going to worry about bubbles too much. It mixes really well. You do get some bubbles, but not an awful lot. This is one of the easiest ones to play with, because you can take your time doing stuff with it. And
you said that this was called a deep fill resin? Is that what you would search for if you were trying to find it and you're trying to get some for yourself?
Yes. I always use the same brand for this, because I know it works well.
Okay.
I can tell you where I get it from if you want me to.
Love you to, yeah. Let's share, yeah.
It's well known. It's from Resinate.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I do love Resinate's products. They're usually good quality. But to be honest, I haven't had any bad stuff from them.
No, they're a great supplier. They've got lots of lovely embeddables and things like that, haven't they?
Yeah. Right, this one is now mixed. You can tell, you can put a timer on for 3 minutes, but once you get experience, you can actually tell, because it goes clear. When you first start mixing it, it's cloudy. You can't tell on camera, I'm afraid. But It's now mixed, and I will put it to the side and decide just for a minute what colours I'm going to mix into it. Today I'm going to use a micro powder. This one's a Resonate micro powder as well. I love this colour. It's Indian silk even.
It is a stunning colour, isn't it?
It is. And I'm going to use a nice purple as well to mix the two together.
Living room colours.
It is. I didn't choose it by mistake, you know. There's always a reason. Right, so now I'm going to tip half into the other table. Tumbler, even. About half. I'm not going to be too overzealous with it. And in one, I'm just going to put a drop of the micro powder. Just splash like that. I'll give that one a mix. That goes lovely. Just mix it all in. Just make sure it goes all the way in. Otherwise you have little clear bits. It sticks. You see it sticking to the side a bit, so you need to get it right round. Make sure that powder gets right in there.
Claire, does the mica powder colour the resin, or does it give it a shimmer so there's still a bit of transparency?
It does both.
Okay.
It makes it very opaque, which is why I like to use the other dye, because you end up with nude or something like that. So you'd end up with something like this.
Oh.
Once with your micro powder in, and this one's just a plain dye.
Wow, that's lovely.
I've just paint poured one each side.
Right.
And it will give you the two different effects. You can see how it's run across.
That's lovely. Yeah, it's a nice, you can see the difference now, can't you, between using the dye and the mica there.
And we get a lot of people asking when they've got when we use the ashes, we ask if the people want the ashes to be seen for what colours they want. Yeah. Because if they want them to be seen, we've got to do it a certain way for them to be seen if we're using an opaque colour like this. Yeah. So if they just this colour, then we have to do it a certain way. Right, okay. All right, otherwise it will just vanish. You won't see it at all.
I'll say some people, they want to know the ashes are in there, but they don't want to necessarily see them.
Yeah.
But then other people obviously do. So that's part of the discussion at the beginning, to see exactly what they want.
I'm just putting 3 drops of this dye in. Now I use this one from, it's called Sigwon. It's really, really good. I love these ones, and I've just got them from Amazon.
Is it an alcohol ink? Is it a specific dye, or is it water-based?
It's a resin dye.
It is a resin specifically for resin.
Yeah.
And can you use
UV resin?
Can you use alcohol ink in the resin?
You can, but you've got to be very, very careful. You put too much in, it won't set.
Okay, that's what I wondered. So you're better off going with a one that's specifically for resin.
Yeah. I've tried so many times and it's just not set, and it's not good. And this one, again, you've got to really mix it well. The only thing I find with these Sigwons is they smell a bit. They've got a bit of a pong too, but they're really great. One of the things you need to remember when you're using resins and you're using the micro is that the micro pigments will sink. So you've got to be careful how you use them and which way. So that's mixed in. Can you see the bubbles in there? If you can catch it. See if I can zoom in a little bit. I can't zoom in anymore. Can you see those bubbles?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to get rid of those in a bit. It's going to get noisy. Right, always have some baby wipes on hand to clean up. because they gets your hands sort of clean again. Right, so I've got my nice heat tool. It's like a hairdryer. So if you haven't got one of these, you can actually use a hairdryer. You just got to be careful. You put it on a setting. So I'm just going to put on the low setting, let it get warm. I'm just going to flick it backwards and forwards over the top of the resin, just to get rid of some of the bubbles, just a little bit.
Obviously not too much, otherwise you start melting the cup as well.
Yeah, you melt the cup, and you don't want to start what you call flash curing resin. Just a little bit.
Claire, did you say, what did you say then? Flash curing?
Flash curing, yeah. Sometimes with the resins, if you don't do it right, it will go extremely hot and go hard very, very fast, and you just can't do anything with. It's it has happened to me, and it can be infuriating, especially if you're working on a big project and you're only doing a little specific part, and you flash cure it before it gets to how you want it, and it's like, no. So yeah, you just got to be careful not to overheat it once they've mixed. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this heart, so I'm just going to pour a little drop in of the clear. Okay, bring it up so you can see. So you can see how clear and see-through it is. And then I'm going to make sure I get the right piece and dribble this in, just to make a pattern inside the, like that. Because that will go to the front more. You see it moves it all about now. Spreads it. I'm going to be a bit more boisterous with it. You see how it's sunk down already? You can see it sinking. The micropowder is already on its way down to the bottom. A bit more this one.
So will that all sink, Claire, or will some of it stay, you know, higher and you'll get depth in there, or will the mica all sink to the bottom?
Hopefully, it should all. Some of it sink and some won't.
Okay.
If you don't want it sinking at all, then you use different resin, and you do different layers. Scrape the last bit out. So this one out. Tidy those edges up, get it all in. There we go. And I'll go back over it with the heat. You can see, you see, can't bring the camera down, but I can bring that up carefully. You see those bubbles right in the middle?
Yeah. Yeah.
Turning this up really loud. Sorry. I'm just going to go across the top. A bit more forceful. Gives it a nice effect inside the resin itself. And I also use it to push those excess bits back into the mould. A bit too far. There we go. I'm going to bash the camera, sorry. There we go. Bring that back up. As you can see, the bubbles have gone.
It's beautiful colour.
Will you? Will you need to do that a couple of times? Will you wait for more bubbles to rise and then do it again, or is that it now? You can leave it.
Sometimes you can get a few more pop up from underneath, from the bottom. So you just leave it to side, because you can't do anything else with this now. You've got to set it to side to cure, and if you just keep an eye on it, and if you do get a few more bubbles, you can go over the top again. The other thing you can use is, if you haven't got one of them or hairdryer, is your blowtorch. Just, you got to be really careful. You just real lightly cross, that's it, done. And the third trick, if you get some really minute, tiny bubbles, it just won't go. You use some alcohol rubbing gel on a really fine spray. Give it a squirt, and that'll take it away as well.
Brilliant, thank you. That's great tips. Thanks.
So that's that one done. That's your fillet done, and now you've got to just leave it to cure and wait and wait and wait.
Claire, thank you so much for that last demo. I can't wait to see how it turns out. What are you doing for us next?
I'm going to now use what's called the coated resin that Resonate uses. This is for thin layers, small items, really great for sea scenes and pictures like this. My little safari scene that I did.
That's gorgeous.
I'm not going to tell you how I'm doing it, because it may be one of the workshops that we do.
Ooh, that's exciting, a little teaser.
That is a little teaser. So there we go.
Did you paint that scene as well?
Kind of. Yes,
you can't give the secrets away.
Okay. I'll stop asking questions.
I will tell you the tree was freehand. That is a typical tree that I shaped that I used to see frequently when I was in South Africa traveling around. So yeah, that was freehand. So that's all I'm going to tell you on that bit.
That's brilliant. Can I ask you quickly about coat it? Is that something that you could use onto, like, if you're making jewelry, you could use it over the top of something to seal it? You
can, but you need borders, because it will run straight off.
Okay, so it's not like a doming resin, then it will.
No. To be fair, I would specifically use a doming resin for jewelry like that, because it runs off the edges. Because this one was for me, I didn't actually clean up the edges. If I bring that up, you can see just down the sides where it has run off.
Okay.
And normally, if it was for a customer, I would sand it all down and clean it back to the canvas.
Right, okay, smashing, thank you.
No worries. Right, should we get on and mix it? So again, we got two parts for this one. The ratio is 1 and 1. It's really, really easy to if you're terrible at maths, to mix this one up. So
equal parts.
Yeah. If you can ever open it. There we go. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to do 20 mils in total. So I'm going to use 10 mils of this one. There we go. Like I said, a couple of mils either side isn't bad at all, but you don't want it like 15 mils to 10 mils, because it just won't set properly. So, and this one, because it's only a small amount and it's 1 on 1, I'm pouring it straight in. And that's up to the 10 mils. I'll get rid of those out of the way. We're going to stir that up. Now with this one, you've already got bubbles. If you can see in there, you've already got bubbles, and you need to really, really slowly mix this one, because the more you mix it, the more bubbles you get. And you don't want bubbles. So you really need to mix it up and take your time. Can you see how cloudy it's gone? Can you see the cloud? So I've got a cloudy mist to it. It's not crystal clear. I'll try and get that. Looks like a bit yellowy on that one.
I find it almost looks pearlescent. You get like streaks through it, don't you? like
Yeah.
almost a pearlescence through it.
Yeah, and that's what you want to try and get rid of, because you really do need to mix it up properly and thoroughly, but slowly. You can see now how many bubbles is in that already. It's just horrendous. So just keep mixing it. It's about 3 minutes that you need to mix it slowly for.
And what are you making with this coated resin? What sort of projects is this suitable for there? I see you've got molds.
Yeah, this one today I'm going to do some beads. These are these shapes. There we go. And you stick your metal bit in, a bit like a well-known brand. You put
Pandora, we can say it. We can say it.
You put your metal bit in and you glue that in once it's all set. So you're just actually making your main part bead.
That's fabulous.
And it's great because you can make them any colour to suit whatever project you're using.
Yeah.
And
they're nice for leather cords as well, aren't they, those beads?
Yeah.
I think they look lovely on a leather cord.
Yeah, I love making them. Got so many bubbles in this, even though I'm going really slow already. So it's starting to clear now, so we won't be much longer mixing.
Is there ever an occasion where you want to have bubbles?
You can do it. Depends on what you're making. Like if you want to do like a water scene, as if you're underwater, it can have a really, really pretty effect. So yeah, then you can leave the bubbles in. I
was just thinking it might look quite nice, you know, some bubbles inside the bead, but then I suppose you don't want bubbles on the outer surfaces because it'll make it rough, won't it?
Yeah, it'll make you will definitely, but when it dries you will have holes.
Okay.
And you don't want holes. I have got a piece somewhere that I have actually got bubbles in, and it makes it look really pretty. It's when I was practicing putting flowers in.
Yeah.
This one's good for putting flowers into small items. Like if you're doing pendants, this is good for pendants. Okay. Because it sets faster. You can this one sets really quick, but it's not fully cured until 24 hours.
Right, okay.
But it's touch hard, if you get me. You can't change it after about half an hour. Right, that's mixed up now. I don't know. Apart from the bubbles, you should see. Oh, I'll tip the right way. A different colour to it. It's more clear. Pearlescent type is gone now. Right, I'm going to give that a quick blast, like I did with the other one. Just get rid of some of them. There we go. Just got rid of some. Now I'm going to make orange beads for these. So I'm going to use me Sig 1.
Can I ask you a question about your heat tool? Is that a standard like embossing heat tool for crafting, or is that specifically for resin?
No, it's a craft one, a general craft one.
Okay, I'm just going to put in a couple, 3, I reckon, for a minute. Three dots, bit about a mix.
That's my colour. That is.
It's lovely. Yeah. If you're not happy with the depth of the colour, then you add more. It's always best to start with the minimal. Make sure it's all well mixed in. There we go. That's well mixed in. I'm going to let it stand for a second to try and get some of those bubbles to come to the top. It's going to be fun now. Now I'm going to put my heat tool on, get it warming. So I'm going to set it so as I'm pouring, it's going to burst some of the bubbles, hopefully, if I get it right. Okay, here we go, fingers crossed. Now I'm going to use a cocktail stick just to help me pour it in. So it just goes down into those edges.
So are you running the resin down the cocktail stick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's clever.
Yeah. So
And
into the center. I'll try and bring that closer.
And
so
that
you can
heat tool is sort of blowing heat across your mold.
Yeah.
So it's warming the resin as you're pouring it in.
It's bursting some of the bubbles as I'm pouring it in.
Oh, that's clever. I've never seen that before.
There's still quite a lot of bubbles in there. It's a technique that I've learned recently because I'm just so fed up with getting bubbles in it. So yeah, I'm using the cocktail stick to try and guide it down into that center part.
That's so very clever. Because I've got this mold and I've made a right mess trying to fill it up.
Yeah, you gotta be careful you don't blow it like that one. You don't blow it too hard. I've got that a bit close because I want to burst the bubbles more. Whoops. There we go. Now I've overfilled it. It's okay, we'll just tip it into one of the others. Look at that. There we go. I'll need to move that along because we don't want it to overheat. It's bursting as it's pouring, it's bursting the bubbles.
That's so clever.
So it's less in there. This has just been a case of trial and error, that of trying to do things.
I'm just mentioning and checking that it's on when you're telling us this, because for us on the video, you've got a very clever noise cancelling device. And so we can't actually hear the tool, but it is actually on and blowing.
It is. And it's got quite warm, so I've just turned it off for a minute.
Yeah.
But even so, I've still got quite a lot of bubbles. I'll see if I can bring it up. In this first one, I've got bubbles just gathering under that rim there. So I'll take the cocktail stick. I'm just going to run it around the edge, try and bring them out to the center, and then I can get them with the blowtorch.
Yeah.
Or the blower.
Okay.
Just run that underneath. The last thing you want is it's bubbles on your edges.
Yeah.
Because just won't go. Let's get rid of those a bit more. Right, let's get pouring again. The slower you can do it, the better. But sometimes it just doesn't mind of its own. It just wants to pour anyway.
Mm-hmm. I know you're doing this sort of a bit quicker. I know when we demonstrate, we tend to go through these things quite quickly. Are you doing this quicker than you would if you were just at home doing it?
Yeah.
So would you leave it to stand a little bit more to get more of those bubbles out before you did this?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I'd leave it about 5 minutes, get some more out, give it a little blow again.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've left the blowtorch on that a bit too hard, I think. So I'm just going to go underneath the edges again, try and get those bubbles out from underneath with the cocktail stick. Just gently, because you don't want to scratch your mold.
No.
Because damaged molds can really, really ruin what you're doing.
Yeah.
And because I've poured too much in there, I can just scrape most of those bubbles straight off. There we go. Look at that. All those bubbles from that top bit just went.
Brilliant.
There we go. The other thing you can do is just give it a gentle
tap. Yeah.
Tap it. You'd have to do this a couple of times with this one just to.
I suppose because that mold, the whole back, the whole top of it isn't exposed because it's rounded. So I suppose it takes a bit more time to bring those bubbles into the open area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really just got to take your time and work it.
Yeah.
Just keep working, and just watch. If you're wiping your cocktail stick with your baby wipe, sometimes you can get a bit of
Fluff
on it. So just keep using a clean one.
Okay.
Makes it easier, because you don't want bits of fluff or hairs in it, because again, that can ruin your last finish. So it's not too bad if it's on the top, but if it's underneath these corner bits, because on the top you can file it or sand it, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to take a while to do that, so we'll leave it for a bit, give it a set, and I can blow dry it again in a minute.
Okay, that's smashing.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste this. I'm not going to waste it, so I'm going to do a nice little heart, and you can see the difference with pouring stuff. That's what I do. I never ever waste it.
No.
Just use it for something else. Nice orange cab.
Yeah.
This makes quite a bit, actually. Really impressed with these boats. These are my new ones.
Gorgeous.
So there we go. Use that up, wipe it all out and clean it up, and hey presto, you're done.
Fab.
We will blow these. You can see the movement. I don't know, can you see it on the camera, the movement of the...
We can just see the light sort of changing where it moves with the blowing.
Just bring that down for a bit, let it settle again. And yeah, that's the coated resin done. Any questions you have that I haven't told you about? Or
I don't think so. I think that that was fab. So that's coat it, and that's for smaller pieces. It sets quickly, takes less time to cure, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I think that's all we need to know. Is there anything?
Yeah, you can put ashes in this one as well. You can put your glitters in, but again, it will sink, so you've got to be careful with the timing of putting it in.
Okay.
But it's better than the deep fill one, yeah.
Right.
For stuff like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. So again, we'll be able to see these, won't we? Actually,
yeah,
on the day.
We do a blue Peter.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that one. I'm going to stick with this mold for the next one. I am going to take these gloves off because I'm sweating. I will be honest with you. I don't usually wear the gloves myself because they do irritate me more than the resin. So just take my rings off now because we're nearly done. Now, the next one is, if anybody has ever had this happen to them.
Now, this is the one I'm really excited about. So Labradorite, beautiful, but particularly brittle. So depending on what part of which way it's been cut, can be quite brittle. Yeah. I've got a few of these. So
I had a really, this is another one. I had a really gorgeous one. I'm so upset that it was knocked off the table. We won't lay blame to anyone, but it was one of the kittens. And it broke, and I was devastated until I found this other lovely resin. Now this one is amazing, and you've got to be so careful when using it, because if you use it when it's really hot and sunny, it's instantly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do anything with it the other day because it was a really nice hot day, and I thought, I'll play with it, and I didn't realise how much sun was coming in through the back door.
Okay, so it's a UV one, and it
is a UV one.
Sets with the sunlight as well, right? Okay.
And this is what I done with my broken resin, my broken Labradorite.
Do you know what? I think it looks even nicer. I absolutely love it. I love this pendant.
So here we go. I'll give it a good mix.
Yeah. So this one there's no two parts. It's just as it is.
It's already mixed, but you give it a good shake.
Well, I like this already.
Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit in. Again, I'm going to get rid of those little bubbles. Come on, hurry up. We went all day. There we go. And then, oh, sorry, thank you. Then I'm going to put a drop along the broken bits.
Okay.
Just like you would if you was gluing it back together.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it back together. Try to piece it all. Just need a tiny drop because it fills up quite quickly. So it's just trying to manage where your broken bits went, roughly. Because
Right.
it ain't going to be perfect. But it goes in.
This is reminding me a little bit of, is it kintsugi, where you
Japanese art.
The Japanese art,
Yes.
where you fix broken things with gold.
Yeah.
See,
Um,
roughly put it back together now.
oh yeah, that looks good.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then, okay. Sorry, I interrupted you there, but then I'm going to drop it in to the mold.
Yeah.
And gently press it in. There we go. So it's all still sitting in the same place as I left it.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Then I'm going to put a drop more. I'm just gently squeezing it because I don't want too many bubbles coming out.
Mm.
And I don't want to misplace what I've already put in. I'll put that right to the top because this has a little shrinkage when it dries.
Okay.
Just right up to the top. Clean bits off. I've got bubbles. Oh, look at the colour on that coming out already.
Oh, it's enhancing it.
It is,
I
isn't it?
want to get my cabochons and put them all in resin just in case they look that good.
I was actually going to colour the back, but I don't think I will now. I was going to put just a little colour and mix around the colour on the back, but I think I'm going to leave it clear.
Mm.
Going to get rid of the bubbles. Roll gently.
Ooh.
Gently. Thank you.
I talk to my tools too.
Yeah.
Who else talks to their tools? You can tell us in the comments. I
Yeah.
know I definitely talk to mine. Sometimes they haven't got very nice names at all.
So I use loads of baby wipes. So get it off. You want to really get this one off your hands as soon as you can before you do the next bit. Now,
I just want to mention, just in case other people don't get on with gloves, there is a barrier cream you can buy for your hands that will protect your hands from the resin. So if you don't like wearing gloves, there's this barrier cream. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm pretty sure they sell it at Resin 8. So if you go there, you can probably find that cream.
Okay, just before I do anything else, I'm just going to go over it and get these little bubbles again if I can. Just try and get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. Sometimes it's hopeless and you can't get all the bubbles out with your blow dryer. Okay. But there is something else I will show you in a minute. But let's get back to this UV resin because I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Right, so now it's a little UV light.
Is this the? Can I use the one I use for my nails?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a nail one.
Oh.
I'll just switch it on, place it over the top, and we sit and wait.
How long? How long?
While we're waiting. Well, you will get some fumes coming off it. It looks like it's on fire. It's smoking. All right, so you've got to be careful. Make sure you've got your window open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish you could see the smoke coming off it. It's like, oh.
That's perfectly normal, is it? That's
it's working. It's curing already.
Oh, fab.
Before we finish the end of the recording, I will be able to take this out and actually show you. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, so am I. I can't wait. I want to do this now. I want all the UV resin now, and I want to put it on my cabs that have gone a bit lackluster, because obviously the resin also acts as like a magnifier, doesn't it, for anything you want to highlight. So you know, it's certainly amplified. Claire, can you show us that cabochon again a bit closer up whilst we're waiting for that curing process?
This one.
Yeah. Have you got a blue resin?
Hang on, my light's gone off because it stays on for 2 minutes. I'm putting it on back on. There you go.
Have you got a coloured resin on that, or is that just the stones, isn't it?
Right, the front.
Yeah.
The front is just clear resin.
Yeah.
The back bit.
Yeah.
because it's going to be thicker, I have put a little bit of blue.
Okay.
So you can see that where the blue is.
Yeah, I can see that quite clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is the stone. All this front bit is the stone, and it's why I love the stone so much, because it flashed so much blue at me. And honestly, to try and get it on the camera, how much blue flashes in this stone. Honestly, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I have seen this one in the flesh, because you did bring it to the Crows Mojo Festival last year, didn't you?
Yeah. So, and you can see the blue flashing from the back still.
Yeah.
Even with the blue dyed resin.
It looks like light through cathedral windows, doesn't it? It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. So right, that's been 4 minutes curing. It's, as you can see, it's not coming off, but I'm going to do it another 2 minutes.
Yeah,
because it might still leave my prints on there sticky.
Ooh.
It's like,
yeah, this is so exciting. This is the best tip ever. Because I think not only is it going to help like fix those gems that have broken, and I suppose you don't need to have the same shape mold. You can sort of mosaic different broken pieces and have a multi-gem piece.
and also, you get your little chips that you can't thread.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you tried, that you just can't get any thread whatsoever through them.
Yeah.
Put them into the resin. You can put it in any of the resin, but this is better because you can actually place it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because you can put it in, do a little bit of the hardening, then put some more in, and because you can do it bit by bit, because it don't take long. As you can see, that's doing really nice. And let's see if I can get this camera down a little bit closer. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's gone off on the skew a little bit. But that's better. Yeah.
Just put it on my pencil. There you go. Right, and I can bring this up carefully because the other ones haven't set.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you do that. Right.
Oh, look at it. It's looking so lovely.
Watch this.
Oh my goodness, it's so satisfying.
So it's not quite done on the underside.
Okay. Luckily you haven't touched it. So can you just put the UV straight back over the top?
Over the top.
Oh, wicked.
It's because I'm so excited. I'm impatient.
Yeah, that's always been my downfall with resin, is my impatience. But UV might solve that for me, because I love the effects you can get with resin, and I always think it could enhance some of the things that I do.
Yeah.
So UV might be the future for me.
So I'll leave that a couple more minutes. I'm just going to get my rubbing alcohol. A second, because I left it over the inside. Oh, I really could spray, but that's it. Sorry. I'll just spray Gail with my rubbing alcohol. Now, the reason why I brought that over, let's just move that away from it a second, is these little bubbles are just not going. So I'm going to use my alcohol gel just to spray it quickly, and the bubbles have gone. There's another tip for you.
Is that an isopropyl 99% or 96%?
Yeah.
And you've just got it. Did it come in a spray bottle, or have you put it into a spray bottle?
No, this is the original bottle it came into.
Okay.
And put the spray bottle from a small bottle that I'd already bought for putting water in and spraying your plants. So it fitted.
Yeah.
But you can put it into another bottle, but make sure you label it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nearly done. Yeah. Oh, do you need to move that? Always so exciting.
It is exciting.
So she was absolutely gutted when she came down the one morning and found that Pumpkin had actually not her favourite stone off.
Oh, you named and shamed her.
Oh, well, yeah, she needs to be named and shamed.
A naughty, so Pumpkin is the naughty cat.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Pumpkin we saw walk across earlier?
Yeah.
She's very nosy.
Yeah, she is.
She's a diva. She likes being on camera.
I think our fur babies like to get involved, don't they? I remember when I had my lovely Dylan, Ollie couldn't care less what I was doing, but Dylan, if ever I was on a video or a Zoom call, he would have to walk in front, and not just in front, but actually on the keyboard. You know, he actually had to walk over the computer.
Yeah.
Drive me nuts. And then he'd just sit down. I suppose it was warm and he wanted my attention. So
yeah. Okay.
Ooh, look at that. Is it ready?
It's ready. Yeah.
That quick.
It's still warm, so it's still curing. You can feel how the heating it curing inside.
Yeah.
So before I used it for anything, I'll let it carry on curing itself naturally. And then I'll use it now, and then I'll keep putting it under the lamp. But yeah, it's done.
That is absolutely, that's revolutionary. That's sort of changed my whole view of projects I want to do with resin now. Totally inspired me. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I know everybody in Crows Mojo who's watching this is going to be feeling exactly the same. So if you're watching this now, please put a comment, please put a like, share your love with Claire and Gail, because you know they've done this for us for our birthday to help us celebrate, and yeah, so give them lots of great feedback, and remember as well to go over to Flutterby Gail and Arfa, and Arfa is ARFA. And actually, while we're talking about this, there's a story that I'm hoping they're going to share. But yeah, make sure you go over to the page. The link is in the top of this video, so you can go straight there from the link. Because not only is it a wonderful place to get to see all the wonderful things that these two make, but there's also a competition running today on their page, and you're going to have to go over there to find out what it is. And they will be doing a giveaway, so you could be lucky and win something. But whilst we're going to show us this, and then you're going to have to share with us why you're called Gail and Arfa.
Okay.
Well, I
that.
Oh, we'll be telling everyone in a moment.
That is lovely. Just go down a little bit so it focus a bit further away, I think. Oh gosh, that's so gorgeous.
You see the clear of the resin around this edge.
Yeah.
Be reflecting inside the colour. Do you see there?
Yeah.
Just amazing. I just love it.
I think it amplifies the beauty. I really do.
Yeah. I
mean, I don't know. I suppose some people who want the energy benefits from crystals, it might maybe it's not, you know, that you don't do that with the stones that you want to use for healing, because maybe that inhibits its powers or something. But I just think it's so beautiful. I make jewelry mainly for beauty, you know, because I love how things look. So for me, I personally feel it's enhancing the stone. I think it looks amazing.
And you can see now, if I bring those up, there's no bubbles where I use that sparkle. Yeah.
Even though you attempted to tip them all out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've done it loads of times.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic. What I think we should do now is I think we should come back to a view of you both, and then we can talk about your business name and who you both are. So, do you mind sharing this story?
No, don't mind at all. So meet Arfa.
Oh no.
Yeah,
okay.
Arfa. So Arfa basically does half a job. So that's where the names come from. Start something and then
gets distracted,
and then I go around finishing everything off.
Not quite everything, unless it's polishing of copper. Filing and polishing of copper and silver bores me to death. So yeah, I get distracted by other stuff, and Gail will finish it for me.
Yeah, but it's not just in kind of the craft area that she will do half a job. It's just in the house generally. So it seemed quite appropriate, really. So, yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
It's I said, I get distracted, and like I could be doing the washing up, and somebody will call me, so I go in the living room to chat to them, and then I've forgotten that I've started washing up, so I then start tidying the living room, and then Gail comes along and says, "Oh, you only done half a job again."
So Arthur isn't spelled Arthur like
No,
the man's name. It's Arfa, so it's Arfa.
Yes.
Arthur, like Arthur job.
Yeah.
But you, Gail, already had Flutterby Gail, didn't you, before that?
Yeah. I used to do paper crafting, so I used to do cards a lot of the time. Yeah. I've done various crafting, but I was making cards, so I got the Flutterby Gail from that. Yeah. So, and then I kind of stopped doing it because of work commitments, and then we decided, because we both enjoyed jewellery making, and we both met on Crow's Mojo, basically on one of Gemma's workshops, and we were just making stuff, and it was kind of like, well, we're making loads of stuff, so let's do something with it. And instead of trying to find a completely new name, it was well, how can we change it? And it's like Flutterby Gail and Claire sounded a bit so we went for the alphabet. It just sounded better.
I think it's fun, and I think it's lovely, and it shows your two fun side as well, because you're very fun and quirky, and you're diverse in all the things that you do, aren't you? So I think it's quirky and fun and suits you. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right then, I think it's time to. I think we've got more demos coming up next in the Crow's Mojo birthday lineup. So we're going to have to say goodbye, and a massive thank you. So everybody who's watching, please say a big thank you as well to Claire and Gail, and don't forget to check out their page and go and find what mystery challenge they've got for you today. Thank you very much, you two. It's been an absolute pleasure. You were brilliant, very inspiring, and I can't wait to get the UV resin out.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.